So next we are having the protonic concept of acid and base. As you guys all know, in the previous video I discussed about the RNS theory. In this video we will discuss about the protonic concept, which was basically given by the protonic concept. What does it mean? Protonic concept, which means hydrogens ions. Protonic concept. Okay, so this theory was given by the Bronsted, a scientist, and a Lorry scientist. Okay, so they basically define the acid and base according to their theory. If we talk about the arenas, we have discussed about that the ions, the hydrogen ion that is released by any kind of a compound, that is basically acid, and the OH ions that is released by any compound, that was base. But according to Bronsted and Lorry theory, what they are saying, that we'll be discussing in this video. Okay, so they said basically about the acid and base, they are having no concept of the hydrogen and hydroxide ion. They basically said that acid is basically that which is, you can say that, donating the hydrogen ion. Okay, hydrogen proton, sorry, not ion, hydrogen proton. And base is basically that which accept the hydrogen proton. What does it mean? For example, HCl. Okay, HCl will give the hydrogen proton in aqueous substance. Okay, usually we are calling that as that, like hydrochloric acid into the H ion and chloride ion. So this is basically having the ability to give the hydrogen ion. So that's why this is called as a acid, donating the hydrogen proton. If we talk about that, most of the acid are basically having a cation ion. Cation, you can say that, cation sign. Like if we talk about hydrogen, they are having cation sign, so they are calling as a acid. For example, you can take the example of base. Mostly, not at all, but mostly, we are talking about, if we are talking about the chloride ions plus hydrogen, so this is called chloride ion. So this chloride is basically what? This is chloride is accepting the hydrogen ion, so this is acceptance. So we are calling it accepting the hydrogen proton, we are calling that as a base. And we are calling that base are basically anion in nature. Anion means negative sign, which are having a negative sign. So as you guys all know, chlorine is having negative sign, so they are calling as a base. So they are having, all anions are basically base that accept the hydrogen proton. You can take the example of cyanide. That is basically accepting the hydrogen proton, so we are calling that as a hydrogen cyanide. But this is basically what? This is basically, cyanide is accepting the hydrogen proton, so we are calling that as a base. Okay, but if we talk about this one, so this is acid. But if we talk about this cyanide, so this is basically the base. Basically this is accepting the hydrogen proton. So in the next video we will discuss about the electronic concept, which was given by another scientist, concept on the base of the acid and base. So that we will discussing in the next video.